All right, in this video, I'm going to introduce spherical coordinates, just another way of locating a point in space. And our point in space will be point P, whose coordinates will have three new elements: rho, theta, and phi. So let's talk about what each of those are, and then we're going to try to convert from rectangular to spherical coordinates. So looking at our diagram here, we have our point P with coordinates x, y, z. The distance between P and the origin that I'm sketching right now, that distance we're going to call rho. So no matter where P is in space, the distance from P to the origin is rho. So let's note that rho is distance from P to O. Okay, now I'm going to drop down a projection of P onto the xy plane so that we can figure out what we mean by theta. So here's going to be my projection P prime that makes a right angle with the xy plane, and the angle theta is going to be the same angle on the xy plane as it was before with polar coordinates and cylindrical coordinates. So this angle is what we're going to call our angle theta. So theta is the angle between our projection let's say OP prime and the positive x-axis. And the third piece to define our coordinate system in spherical coordinates is another angle, which is the angle that OP makes with the positive z-axis. And we call that angle phi. So phi is angle between OP and the positive z-axis. And so that uniquely describes a point in space. Now, we want to be able to convert between our rectangular coordinate system and spherical coordinates. So the first thing that I'm going to do, so for converting, we're going to try to derive some relationships that exist here in the diagram that we just made. So you might remember that the distance from O to P prime to the projection in cylindrical coordinates and polar coordinates, we describe that as our R, length R. And we know that this is a right angle here because when we drop the projection, we're creating a right angle. So I'm going to draw a parallelogram that copies the side R from P to the z-axis. So this length right here that I just drew is also length R. And because this is a parallelogram, this is also a right angle. And so we have a right triangle at the top where Z is kind of the base of that right triangle. So I'm going to copy that right triangle down here, right? We have Z is our base. That's Z. We have a right angle that gets us to our point P. The hypotenuse is rho. This is the origin. So I'm reorienting that triangle. And this vertical length is R. And this is angle phi. So this is going to allow us to derive some relationships here between rho, R, Z, and phi. So let's see. This right triangle tells us that the cosine of phi will be the adjacent side Z divided by hypotenuse rho. And so that gives us a relationship between one of our rectangular coordinates Z and rho and phi. So Z equals rho cosine phi. That is one relationship that we have here. Okay, so we also have from this right triangle that the sine of phi is going to be R divided by rho. So we know that R is rho sine phi. We're going to put this on hold a little bit because R is not one of our rectangular nor spherical coordinates, but it might come in handy in expressing x and y in terms of our rectangular and spherical coordinates. So we also have, we know the relationship between r, x, and y, and we also know that x, in relation to theta, x was r cosine theta, and y was r sine theta. That's something that we have from cylindrical and polar coordinates. Well, here's how we're going to use r. We're going to replace the r in both of these with rho sine phi. So now x is going to be rho sine phi, which is r, times cosine theta. And y will be rho sine phi, that's our value for r, times sine theta. So now we've got z, x, and y in terms of rho, phi, and theta. So that's a lot of progress that we've made so far. A couple of important relationships we have to keep in mind still are that because rho describes the distance from xyz to the origin, we know that we have the distance formula that rho is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared, the distance from point P to the origin, or the relationship that rho squared is x squared plus y squared plus z squared. So another really important relationship that will help us convert between rectangular coordinate equations to spherical coordinate equations. So important things that we have here are conversions, and let's also specify some ranges for theta and phi and rho. So we know how to convert now, and we'll put this into practice, but a couple of things about rho, phi, and theta that we also need. We're going to assume here that rho is always greater than or equal to 0. We will also say that phi will be between 0 and pi. So think about this, right? Phi is the angle from the positive z-axis. If we go all the way down to pi, we're going to be in the negative z-axis. And we can go in either direction, but that's going to sweep all of the angles from positive z to negative z. And theta will be between 0 and 2 pi. So important ranges for our 3 coordinates. And let's just summarize all of our information on conversion. So x is rho sine phi cosine theta. Y is rho cosine phi. Rho sine phi sine theta. Sorry about that. Rho sine phi sine theta. Z is rho cosine phi. We also have that r is rho sine phi, but that's not a direct relationship between rectangular and spherical. But finally, we have that rho squared is x squared plus y squared plus z squared, which comes from our distance formula. So these are the elements that I would recommend remembering so that we can use them in triple integrals when we have some kind of symmetry about a point, like spheres or cones.